When we talk about raising our children in this society, we have to first understand what's happening with the world. What's happening with all of us and with the world, before we can think about raising our children effectively. So that's one big problem. The second big problem is, what does success mean? Well, this one is, what is your worth? What are you worth? Nowadays, our children are being raised to think all they are worth is these products. The brand of clothes, the kind of house, the kind of car your parents drive, drop you off to school at, the brand of the book bag you're wearing, that sort of thing. That's all you're worth. And then on top of that, the additional problem is, what does it mean to be successful? Our idea of success even 20, 30, 40 years ago was, for the vast majority of the Muslim world, maybe some of you did not have a good opportunity for education, or your parents did not have a good opportunity for education, and they put all of their effort in getting you a good education. And you've learned that lesson in your life, so you say, my children better have top-notch education. If that means they have to go to private school, if that means that we have to rent a house, rent an apartment and live uncomfortably so they can get a good education, we will do it. If that means we have to take an insane amount of money for loans to put them in an Ivy League school and to put them into an expensive med school or to put them into an elite program, we will do it. Why? Because the most important part of your success is what? Your education. And the children here, they're told by their parents this over and over and over and over again. You have to have an education. You will be a failure in life if you don't get a good education. You have to finish college, then you have to finish this, and you have to finish that. And if you're from the Indo-Pak subcontinent, obviously if you're not a physician, then you have failed. And you should not expect anything from this dunya. Now the only thing left for you is akhirah. And your parents will never be happy with you now because you are not a surgeon, or you're not, even don't be a dentist. Dentists are humiliating. Just don't even bother with that, right? So that's what we've done. By the way, why is it that being a physician is so important in a certain segment of our community? Do you know why? Because it pays the most. It's not because you get to save lives or because you're serving humanity. That has nothing to do with it. If doctors were paid the same salary as bus drivers, the Desi community would not be crazy about making their children doctors. There's no hirs, there's no zeal to get our children to become, saviors for the world. No parents are so happy when their son becomes a doctor. Then he says, I'm going to Doctors Without Borders for 3 years. I'm going to go serve Doctors Without Borders in flood-ridden areas for 3 years. I'm going to go to Somalia, then I'm going to go to Pakistan, I'm going to go to Bangladesh, then I'm going to go to Malaysia, and I'm going to serve no salary, non-for-profit work. These parents are going to say, Ya Allah, we put all this money in to make you a doctor, and this is what you do? You should have been part of the same blood-sucking machine that the insurance companies and the pharmaceutical companies are a part of. That's what we wanted you to do. Why are you saving lives? What's wrong with you? That's what we've become. Honestly, we have to look in the mirror. What are we creating? Something has fundamentally changed. Our idea of success has become money. Our idea of education has become a career that makes a lot of money. Everything comes back to money. If you're successful, it means you have a lot of money. If you're successful, it means you have an education. Education in what field? A field that will give you a good career, which means you will have good money. That's what success is now. Everything comes back to this. That's it. Now this is different from old times. This is different from old times. In old times, to have an education means to understand yourself, to understand the world around you, and to contribute to making the world a better place. And to make the world a better place, sometimes you have to study history. Sometimes you have to study sociology. Sometimes you have to study political science. Sometimes you have to study media. Sometimes you have to study journalism. You have to study a variety of fields to contribute to society. Not one field. Not one field. By any measure, the most successful communities in the United States are the ones that did not limit their children to one field. One of my friends tells me, if Steven Spielberg was in a Pakistani household, he would have been a doctor. Right? He would have been a doctor. Why? Because we don't... What do you mean you're going to film school? What's wrong with you? Are you failing medicine? You're going to give your parents high blood pressure.